Did you know that there's quite a few people who prefer Halo 4 over Halo Reach? I had to do a double take myself when I saw this earlier this week, but after I spoke about the Halo cycle is the phenomena that over time people seemingly enjoy the older Halo games that were hated as they're less criticized now due to their age. People seem to focus on the positives of each instead of the glaring negatives that people hated for years. Well, after I spoke about that, people came out in droves to say they loved Halo 4, and then it evolved into we love Halo 4 more than Halo Reach. Now yes, some of the comments I got said Halo 4 sucks, how can anyone like Halo 4? Halo 4 is the worst Halo game ever created. One of them even read, ain't no way this thing's trying to say that people ended up loving Halo 4, lol. Best you'll get is a not as bad as 5. So it may come as a shock to many people watching this video that there is actually quite a large group of people who actually prefer Halo 4 to Halo Reach. Like we're talking, it's not even close. They don't like many of the things Reach introduced, they love Halo 4, and I was shocked. Halo 4 has a very different art style, a very different sound design. Even the enemies, the aesthetic of the enemies is very different to Bungie's original games. Everything about Halo 4 is different. So, what did people actually like about it? Well, in general, people who said they liked Halo 4 said that they loved the big team battle, they enjoyed the campaign, and on the whole, they thought the multiplayer was superior to Halo Reach. One person said that Halo 4 was an improved version of Halo Reach, and as a Bungie fan myself, I will stand on that hill. An improved version of Halo Reach is quite the call. Multiplayer wise, Halo Reach and Halo 4 both had loadouts. Personally, the problem I had with Halo 4 loadouts was that you could spawn with a pocket shotgun, the bolt shot, you could spawn with plasma grenades, and even a plasma pistol. You could basically make an anti-vehicle class, which in my eyes went against what Halo really was. I also didn't like the addition of perks. One of them was a get out of jail free card for vehicles if the vehicle exploded. Halo Reach did have armor lock and active camera abilities, which I hated, but Halo 4 seemingly cranked it to 11 with a literal wall hack equipment called Promethean Vision. Halo 4 had flinch, but no bloom or descope. So if you zoomed in with a weapon on Halo 4, you would never get zoomed out. I feel like this mechanic greatly lowered the skill gap versus Halo Reach. Halo 4 feels like an arcade version of Halo, but oddly enough, that's what people seem to like about it. That by its very nature, it's a casual shooter that really isn't all that competitive. That's what they like. One comment I got read that if it's a ranking purely on a casual multiplayer experience, then I'd say Halo 4 and all of its new additions are a lot more fun to play. To me, Halo 4 always irked me because it seemingly changed Halo's identity into something it wasn't. Instant respawn multiplayer like Call of Duty, customizable loadouts like Call of Duty, kill cams like Call of Duty, and they never actually worked properly. I think that's where the big divide happens. It's like Halo 4, even back in 2012, was chasing the Call of Duty / broader audience even back then, but judging by the population graph of Halo 4, you can see a sharp decline once Black Ops 2 released. I still love Halo 4 for its arcade aspects, big team battle especially, very fun. I think it's very funny though that it's the only 343 Industries Halo game that launched feature complete, make of that what you will. To many people, they feel like Halo 4 is much easier to pick up and play versus Halo Reach. Again, the very nature of it being casual is a good thing for new fans to get into the series. When I was asking for opinions on Twitter and I did a status, Thomas said that 4's base gameplay was absolutely an overall improvement over Halo Reach, and another said that 4 is way better than Reach. It had a bit of a rough start with the multiplayer, but once they ironed out the kinks, it was great. Reach blows. Introduced Bloom, wonky plot, the retcon, the books, and armor lock. To give you guys extra context, Halo 4 had a lot of updates when the game first came out, as the sandbox, all the weapons and how they interacted needed a lot of balancing to get it where it needed to be. I really cannot state enough just how many people, surprisingly I might add, prefer Halo 4, which I always thought was the least popular Halo. They prefer it over Halo Reach, which is one of the most popular. Now on the flip side to this, and this is where it gets very interesting, when I asked people why they don't like Halo 4, this is what they had to say. One comment read, "It sunk the franchise in a lot of ways. There was no respect for legacy. They changed the art style, the sound design, the UI, the gameplay loop. It was a massive slap in the face to what Halo was. I enjoyed the story it told, but everything else was just so disrespectfully done. And I gotta say, as a long-time Halo fan, I felt like this when this game came out. 343 could have done a caretaker role when they took over Halo, but they really wanted to break out from Bungie. So much so that they completely changed so many things about the franchise. Halo 4's aesthetic in many ways is vastly different to any Halo game before it. The sound design, example, the battle rifle, sounded like a cricket. I personally never liked the Storm variants of all of the main enemies, the elites, the grunts, you name it. I just felt like they lacked the features and the color popping that the original games had. Speaking of the campaign, another comment I had read said Halo 4 is trash. You go from being friendly with the Covenant in Halo 3 to immediately fighting them again in Halo 4, and I shouldn't have to read a book to understand that they are a different faction. Piss poor writing coming off the back of Halo 3's legacy. And this is a complete tangent. That's a big part of 343's legacy of Halo campaigns. A lot of people don't read the books or extended media, and they shouldn't have to, just to understand the story. The books are fantastic, don't get me wrong, and reading them should give little nods here and there to the story told in the video game campaigns, but they should not be required reading to understand the story as a whole. 343's first Halo game had a very different feel. They really cranked up the sci-fi to 11. That's the best way I can put it. Yeah, the older titles were futuristic, but there was a definite shift when 343 took over. The campaign story of Halo 4 I thought was fun. No, I didn't love fighting the Prometheans. They were bullet sponges and annoying. But the story of Cortana facing her mortality I thought was fun. And if anything, I'm more annoyed that Halo 5 and Halo Infinite feel so disjointed, so when you look at the games as a trilogy, you're like, what is going on here? The real big kicker here, and I actually got it in the shape of a comment from a guy named Purple, they simply put Halo Reach has superior customization, custom games, gameplay, maps, and a ranking system. And that is what I wanted to touch on. Halo Reach is closer to the original Halo game formula of a Halo title. Halo 4 was very experimental in a lot of ways. The very thing that people like about Halo 4 being more casual and the gameplay being easy to pick up is the exact reason why some Halo fans didn't like Halo 4. Which brings me to the point of this video. Ever since Bungie left Halo and we went from Halo Reach to Halo 4, Halo 5, and then Infinite, there has been two groups of fans. It isn't even a Bungie vs 343 thing, it's more the mechanics that have been added in over time. There's two groups of fans that want entirely different things. How does Halo Studios make a game that appeals to everybody? It's definitely not an easy task to have so many requests, preferences. Who do you listen to? Each Halo fan is valid in what they want Halo Studios to make, which is why, despite all of the shit I have given Halo Infinite, and everyone else has given to Halo Infinite, it did a lot right in terms of bringing together fans in many aspects that had not agreed on things in over a decade. Example, sprint and gameplay as a whole. In many ways, Halo Infinite also united fans against 343 because of the dumb decisions they made in many ways. Even that is useful for Halo Studios, as it gives the developers a clear idea of what we, the fans, want. It's up to them to listen. So in saying that, I now ask you, Halo 4, Halo Reach, which game do you prefer? Why? Why not? If you agree with someone's comment, leave it a like. Try not to kill each other in the comments too, please. That would be great. But thank you for watching. Halo 2's 20th anniversary is under 2 weeks away now, and Halo Studios have already teased the event planned for the monumental occasion. It's going to be called Great Journey. With that said, I hope you all enjoyed. Each Halo game has something special about it. Each person has their own preferences, so let me know down in the comments. I'll see you guys later.